Hello, everyone. I am so excited to be here. Trisha, I know you're here. You said you've been waiting. So I want to thank you for setting up for this and your excitement to not be able to wait until this comes live. I've been talking for a while about wanting to come live, and I was like, what better time to do it than in the Leo full moon, especially because I'm Leo. So I want to talk about this full moon for 1 second, and then I want to take some questions, and we're going to do some readings with the new card deck that's coming out in March. And if you've heard me talk or share or saw any of my post, I am so excited that this 6.5-year project is giving birth in March. And so if you're just coming in and you haven't heard about the card deck that I created, Twin Flame Ascension Oracle card deck, which is what we're going to use for some one-card readings tonight, make sure to check it out in the link below. You can reserve your deck now. And oh my God, I'm so excited you're here, Trisha. And thank you so much for sharing your message with me prior in regards to how the messages that I left here on YouTube have helped you, which, by the way, I do want to welcome the entire family because I'm live not just on YouTube, I'm live on Facebook and my personal page, as well as Facebook on my business page. So I want to welcome the entire family I have that's here. I want to thank everyone for your support, your messages, your love. It's what keeps me showing up. And I just got to tell you right now, like I have chills on chills. And Trisha, I can tell it, like you're really like triggering me in a way that's like a beautiful activation of energy. I could feel your excitement. So, oh my God. So I'm going to take questions in just a minute. But before I do, I just kind of want to take a moment to just pull in some of this full moon energy with Leo. So Trisha, if you want to ask question and get ready with your question when I take them, I know you've been waiting, so you can leave your question there. And everyone else, I'll be taking questions in order of your question that you can put in the comments section. So I'm going to just start by taking a really deep breath. I'm just feeling some of the energy and the light and the love. So I want you to know that today's full moon in Leo marks like a opening gateway to the 2/22/22 portal. And I do want to say what that portal represents, because it represents letting go of our past and literally moving into a dimension of the new. It's an opportunity for the new beginnings of like everything we've worked out on this entire journey of this ascension process for a long time. Some of us are waking up, in the last year and just getting it condensed in. Some have been on this journey for a long time, especially the twin flame journey. And I know, Trisha, you mentioned, you had some things with your twin flame journey that you were working through, and some of the videos helped you. So if anyone has anything to share as well about, say, their journey in regards to, I feel this sense for myself personally that it's about the gratitude in this journey, like what I've learned. A few days ago on Valentine's Day, when it, being the heart day, and I was having this complete heart activation, and my heart just started opening up, and I just started everything felt so full and so much love and so much excitement and ready for the new beginning and the new life. And I talk about this where we're in a bridge of the old, and then we have the new, and we're bridging that gap. And so if in this timeline that you're going through this shift of this portal, the portal represents the beginning of the new timeline, the new templates, and the new earth, and the new beginning of everything. So if you've been doing your work and you've been moving towards that highest version of yourself, then things are by all means shifting into becoming more easy, more effortlessly, more graceful. If you've been resisting that, and you're being pulled into like a timeline that's still saying, I understand this, I see this, I've done the work. However, hi Monica, good to see you. Um, if you've been doing the work and you're still being pulled into a sense of resistance, I should say, a resistance of letting go of some of the things that, even I'll give you an example of me, like I was like built a life over the last 5 to 6 years that I absolutely loved. And so when I had COVID last year and I was being asked to shift and even let go of everything I had been shown, my own truths, my own beliefs that were the ones I created, I was being forced to like let go of what I thought was my truth, to realize that that even collapsed into a new reality. And I had to learn how to start letting go of what was even good and the good sides of myself. And it was a very painful process to let go a side of myself that I actually learned to love. And that's what sometimes we forget. We think about this as like all the negative things, but it can be the positive things too. But what it's doing, it's creating an ability for us to go into more expanded, more connected, and having much more of a sense of the highest good. And that's where I keep talking a lot about the quantum shift lately. And the quantum shift represents our ability for seeing, and I just want to feel what's coming through, because this is coming through what I'm saying here. In our perception, when we feel and we see what we've dreamed about all this time, and it's no longer about the dreaming about it, it's like bringing that into our life in today, so that we can, hi Gina, so that we can actually live the dream now. And so we can embody that dream, we can integrate with it, we can bring it into our life. And to do that says that we have to really step forward in a lot of faith and a lot of trust. So it's really can be testing you during this time to visually see, I can either implement the old patterns or I'm going to stretch my comfort zone and go a little bit further. And that's the quantum leap. That's shifting into the side of you that is the greater side of you. And you no longer really can go back to the old patterns, even though we can in some sense, but now we're too awake. We see them, we can see what's happening. And then our soul is just not allowing us to go back to old things. So this moon today marks the opening gateway for anybody that just came in or anybody that's watching in the future. You know, thank you guys for showing up. It's the ushering in of the new beginning, of the new way, the new earth. And as Mars and Venus comes in this conjunction right now, that's perfectly conjuncted. It could not be more perfect for the unification of the balance of the masculine and the feminine energies that reside within us and in relationships. So this is a time of beautiful relationships unfolding as well. So it's going to be kind of, to sum up what I was saying, it's going to be your perception. Do you want to live in the past? Do you want to see the past? Do you want to choose your power? By choosing your power, you're choosing the side of you that represents the best side of you, that represents the highest version of you, that represents the stretch that could bring up the fear, but you're willing to face it because you know that that's going to be for your greater good. And just doing it from a place of love. Doing it from a place of love. Hi, Diane. Hello. And hi, Carol. Oh, Carol, you're coming from Aussie. All right, what time is it over there today? Good to see you guys. All right, so thank you, Trisha, again. So let's see. Your moon is going to, there's something behind me. Okay. All right, so I'm just seeing who else here. All right, so I'm going to, first of all, as I said, I wanted to talk a little bit about the full moon as people came in. share a little bit about this energy, get prepared for the portal. And this is like packing your suitcase and saying, I'm going on a trip, and what am I going to take with me? And Thursday, 10:45 in the morning. Wow. Okay, well, happy Thursday to you. So, all right, what are you taking with you? That's a good question. So I want to ask you guys, like, what are you taking with you going into the new earth and the new beginning and what's ahead? Like, just give me some ideas. What do you plan to like think about this moon today? What are you going to let go of, and what do you want to take with you? And let's see, I want to double check because Trisha, I had said I would take your question. I want to see like what you've said. Sorry, that way I don't get too far behind here. Is this Leo moon going to open your twin flame Leo's eyes to spirit? I felt the shift last week and you focused on yourself, but there's still not that pull towards the Leo silence. Wow, think about that with this Leo moon, right? Hi, Astrid. Okay, sorry to hear that, Astrid. Okay, let's see. Let me see what else I got. Okay. Hi, Lisa. Oh, I got stuff popping up here. Sorry, give me 1 second. Get this down so I can see you guys' comments. There we go. All right. So this card is for you, Trish. And if you guys just came in and I'm doing the one card reading from the Twin Flame Ascension Oracle deck, which is my card deck that I started creating 6.5 years ago. And it comes out in March. So, Lisa, does your Leo twin, is his eyes opening to spirit? Adriana, okay. Nice to meet you, Adriana. Okay, so you're learning more about the tarot. Wow. And it's very cool. You know, it's a lot of intuition. Cards represent intuition. And one thing I do say about your deck, make sure if you start in between questions or when you go to use a deck, which I already done this, but you clear it. So I usually tap it like about 3 times and put an intention into it and then just feel what I'm guided to do. Oh, and something's coming out. Okay, so Trish, I'm going to answer your question. Oh, that one wants to come. Okay. So let me read this first and read the energy in your question, and then I'll show you the card and I'll start answering it. So Trish, I guess I should say Trisha. So in reference to your question, this is exactly what is happening is yes, because for one is this question is, or this card, see how pretty it is? It is mystical messages and follow the signs. Okay. So this is like a third eye awakening here. And this is about all the aspects that who we are. All right. And so basically, what this means is to notice these signs, to follow mystical messages says that first of all, we have to be connected to our intuition. We have to be open enough from the third eye to be able to be awakened enough to connect to the realms that is communicating with us. And, you know, on this spiritual ascension journey, activating the third eye is something that's going to be really taking place in March, like collectively. So many people's third eyes are going to start opening up. So as if they weren't already, a lot of people's going to have a lot more awareness. So I would say from this card, yes, there is much more of an awakening, much more awareness, much more connection, much more signs and synchronicities that are following. Oh, Gina, thank you for pre-ordering your deck because I just saw that before I came in here. I haven't had a chance to like look at it, but I saw your name and I knew that's what it was. So thank you, Gina, for your support on that. And anyone just else that knows, you can reserve your deck in the comments below or Bob, depending on which platform you're on. And if you happen to be in Canada, Tatiana, the artist, is the one that, like, I don't think I put the link in there, but she's the one that you will connect with. So reach out to me if you need the link for Canada. And I'll make sure it's in there for the replay. Just anybody that replays this, I'll make sure the link's in there, but it's not right now. Oh, something else I do want to say to you guys as I'm thinking about it. My book, Twin Flame Code Breaker, is also free today through midnight of Pacific Standard Time. So you can get a copy, and the link is in the description below. So if you have not read my book, Twin Flame Code Breaker, you can get it in honor of today's Leo full moon, maybe in a Leo. You can get a free copy of it today on the digital Kindle version. So check out that link below. And for anybody in the future in a replay, you can still get plugged into that link below. It just won't be free past midnight tonight. So now, Trisha, he's definitely awakening. He's definitely seeing things. He's definitely following signs and synchronicities and getting his wake-up calls. And what I see in this is there's a lot of directions, and I'm not quite sure in a sense of trusting the direction. So the vision is there, the sight's there, there's the connection to what's going on in an awakening and direction. It's just that he hasn't trusted the intuition to know that it's coming through him and that he can follow those signs with absolute certainty. But it's the beginning of the opening. Kind of like, if you've been on this twin flame journey or even on the ascension journey, we start seeing the codes like 1111 and all the numbers. So anybody see those numbers here? What was like, if you had a number, what was your number that started coming up? A lot of times on the twin flame journey, or even the wake up call for this ascension journey, we see the number 1111, like a lot. So I would say he's starting to see the numbers and the signs, and that this is directing him to this more consciousness of like, people that start seeing the numbers are kind of like, why am I seeing this? You can't make this up when you pick up your phone like over and over and over and you start seeing like the same number and you realize, oh, wow, like, why do I keep seeing like that number? So 111 represents the urgent message from the heavens. So it's like your guides are trying to get your attention for you to be directed into some message that you're to be getting from that. So you need to communicate with your guides and say, what is the message you're trying to give me? That's urgent. It represents urgent. However, what I will say in that, the ones represents union within yourself. It represents coming into balance with yourself. And the threes represents, so let me just kind of go through those first few. So the ones is the balance and the unity within, and you're finding the balance. The twos represent you coming into the balance and the harmony of the unification and harmonizing within yourself. So when I say the difference, say in one in alignment, okay, and two in balance. So one in alignment means you're coming into alignment with who you are, your truth, your trusting, your connection to higher realms, source energy. And the two, it means you're coming into balance with yourself in a sense that you start to navigate this journey and trust it enough that you start to find balance in the things that you do in your daily life. You're no longer just, I wouldn't say discerning, questioning. You know, and you see, and you believe, and you connect, and you're finding the balance in your resistance and your surrender. And then in the threes, because you've come into alignment with yourself, and because you come into alignment with your truth and who you are, and you're trusting that, now you're becoming the ascended master within yourself, and you're connecting to more of that higher realms. And the 4/4s is you coming in and connecting to angels and guides that are getting your attention. And the 5/5/5 is alchemy. So 5 represents magic and creation. And so you're coming into the creation and becoming the co-creator, meaning you know how to magnetize, you know how to create from a space of abundance and prosperity and peace and all the things that we desire. And so 6s represents the masculine energy. 7s represents coming into a completion of all of that. 8 represents infinite potential. And 9s represents your feminine energy. And then you move into the 0 at the end of that. And that's like the God energy. That's the collective consciousness. That's the oneness of the Alpha, the Omega, and the Yin and the Yang that says we are one all together. So, okay, that is that. Okay, questions. Anybody like a card? I'll take some questions, as I know that you guys have kind of like made some comments, but I don't quite see other than Trisha's question at this moment. I'm open to questions. So just to confirm, Trisha, he's definitely getting his wake-up calls. And you're to keep like expanding on that. So that's great. Yes, you were becoming the magician. That's right. Oh, somebody's cards are coming out of here. It went in the floor. Give me a second. Okay, so 2 cards came out, and I'm going to just do them as a collective since nobody's asked a question yet. But what I will say to piggyback your question, Trisha, is this is the card for the High Priest and also personal empowerment. And okay, Diane, do you have anything specific, or do you want me to do just general based on whatever you guys want you to see? So when we go through the hierarchies of finding a balance in ourselves and we collect, say, I'm going to tell you this in the feminine aspect because it's easier for me to share so you understand it. So we first become kind of like the maiden, and that represents, our like youthfulness, right? And then we're the mother, where we move into more of creation. And then we move into the aspect of being the crone. Okay. And the crone represents our wisdom and like the grandmother type energy. And then we have our queenship. Okay. And our queenship represents that we are learning how to stay in power. We're learning how to ask for what we want. And we're learning how to set boundaries and speak our truth and all kinds of things like that, where we're coming into a sense of power. But then we move into our high priestess energy, and that's an expanded consciousness. That is where we're like, so this is the high priest in the masculine version of that. So this even says personal empowerment, but also expanded version of that. So it's being able to, from that place, know that we are, say, a sense of power, but grace. So in that, though, from a feminine side, we also move into our goddess energy through that. So that same hierarchy of going through all these parts. So think of these as all aspects. So as a collective, the divine masculine is coming into personal empowerment as far as the divine masculine in general. So they have done enough waking up. They've done enough learning how to speak their truth and take back their power and really connect to their emotional side, so they stop being emotionally emasculated, which has happened through the lineage of the matriarchs and all those things. And that's blocking them from being able to speak their truth from a place of confidence. Most men suppress their energies, and they've been taught it's not okay to emotionally connect. And so when they come into personal empowerment as a high priest energy, that's saying, okay, I can tap into my femininity. I can honor and accept it, and I can connect to it, and I don't have to separate from it. And so I'm telling you, what this card represents is in the divine masculine collective energy right now, men are becoming empowered, and they're owning and honoring their ability to express themselves, their ability to connect to their emotions, and their ability to come into a place of power, but also doing it with a place of grace and not control, so to speak. So that's happening on a collective scale. So now, all right. Now let me see the questions that we have here. Just making sure that they're all going up, and I want to make sure I don't miss anyone. So, all right. So Diane, you want a card for in general? Hi, Maria. Okay, sure, Melissa. You'll be after Diane. Okay. All right, let me get Diane's and I'll come back to yours, Melissa. And then Carol, I'll see what you've got there. Thank you guys for joining me. Happy full moon, not new moon. Happy full moon. Hi, David. How are you? All right, I will give you a card as well. Well, how exciting. Nice to meet you, Radiant Reiki. Nice to meet you and on a live. I'm so glad you could make it. Okay, so Diane, all right. I'm going to tune into the energy and I'm going to show you the card and I'll start reading it. Okay. I'm going to start reading a little bit of the energy that's coming through before I show you the card because I want you to feel what the back side of this is, Diane, before I share it exactly. So you are very much a creator. And the vision I'm having with that is like the white widow in a beautiful web. Okay. And it's actually in the card. Okay. So there's like this card here. The card has the web. All right. And so this card actually says beyond the illusion, it says change your perception. But the point of this for you is that you have so much wisdom, so much truth, so much light. And like you've been doing it for so long that you're being asked to put that energy and that wisdom more into a possibility of some kind of a purpose or a mission and to step forward in a way that is a little bit bolder, a little bit brighter, possibly even share a little bit more of who you are with other people, share your story, share your message. And sometimes when we get in that space, we don't realize that our voice matters or our voice counts or that people would want to hear what we have to say. And what I'm telling you is you need to move beyond that illusion. You have a lot to say and a lot that could help people. And so move beyond that illusion and know that you have the ability to really create something beautiful and meaningful. And the words I'm hearing right now, it's not too late. Like almost like you get to the age that you're not sure if you can make a change in your life to take a leap of faith and step out there thinking you've missed the chance and that you just got to kind of keep going. And like, I missed my opportunity. And I'm here to tell you, we're going through this 2 portal, how many ever twos it is. And this is the opportunity that you've been waiting for in this new timeline. It's almost like it's your time to shine. It's your time to bring into form something there's something what I feel is that you've been being called to do and you haven't done yet. And you feel like that maybe it's not going to matter, it doesn't amount to much. And I'm telling you, it's big. And if that resonates, let me know, because whatever it is wants to be birthed and wants to be created. And you're to move beyond the illusion and to do what it is that you're being asked to do. And so take this leap of faith in this timeline and know that it's going to be like amazing. So I can feel the energy in it, just that it's going to really help a lot of people, whatever this is. And it's very creative. So you're very creative is another part of that. Okay, so let me go on back to the questions. Melissa, okay. So you've been in a void lately. And not hearing from your twin. Okay. So you've lost a long time job. So here's something I want to tell you before I even pull the card that's coming through. Actually, I'm going to tell you in a second. There's the card. It popped out. Okay. And this makes sense. So this card is going to confirm what I'm about to tell you. You lost the job as a blessing because you wouldn't take the chance and the trust in what it is that's the next level and layer of what you're to do. And so this is the bridge I was talking about whenever I kind of started talking a while ago about between our past and our future. And we got to take a leap of faith and we got to really trust. And sometimes in that space, we want to stay comfortable and we want to wait to get it all together before we go do something better. But your soul is being called to the next level in this quantum leap. And if we don't like take charge and make the decisions and the choices in our life that's allowing us to shift forward into that space of trusting and feeling and knowing and answering the ultimate calling of what our soul signed up to do, then things will come along and you'll lose a job that's going to put you in a position to create the space for what your soul wants to do. So the card says transformation, and it's a battle between your head and your heart. Okay. So, with what I just said, this is what's been going on with you. You've been being asked to go from the logical side of this, the idea you need to go from a job to a purpose. You need to go from making a paycheck and surviving to thriving and knowing that you can make meaningful money. And that when you step into the alignment with your soul's calling and your soul's purpose, like what you need for that journey will show up for you. And you're in a battle you're in this split between your head and your heart. And know that it's okay. Like surrender to the process. And as far as like say the twin concept and being ghosted or not hearing, it's really kind of boils down to the same thing. You're being pointed to your own power. You're being pointed to the idea that you need to come into your energy and not allow anyone or anything to rob you of that energy. And given the power way that you need the twin flame or anyone for that matter, for yourself to be able to be loved or be powerful. You know, sometimes people, when it comes to a purpose and mission, they don't think they have the power inside themselves to do what it takes. And they think they need their twin flame or they need a partner or they need someone to guide them. But the power is in you. And this is like Dorothy and following the yellow brick home and road to home. And home is where the heart is. Home is where you are following and chasing something outside of yourself and going to see the wizard and trying to find the direction. But just like Dorothy at the end, it's like, my dear, the power is inside of you and it has been all along. You just had to know it was. So this is exactly where you're at. And know that the power is going to lie in the presence of your heart. And that you need to start showing up every day from a place of what do I love to do? Don't wait to think that something's going to come along and then maybe I'll like it. Start just doing what it is you love and create the passion in your daily life to connect to things that are meaningful and that matter to you. And then start to build your life around that. And then that puts you in charge of your destiny. And that doesn't give your power away to anyone. Awesome. Okay, Carol. I hope you're still with me. Okay, so if they're popping out, it was your card. Okay, that could be true. Oops. Well, it did. It just did it again. Okay, so give me 1 second. If everyone's just joining, thank you. I'm doing 1-card drawings here on the full moon in Leo. And if anybody's watching the replay or just came in, you can get a link to reserve your deck of cards for the Twin Flame Ascension Oracle deck that is coming out next month. And I'm so excited. I've been working on this for 6.5 years. And it's just a beautiful deck. It has great energy. Mandalas in it. And the artwork that Tatiana Hassan did is just amazing. So I just want you to see that. So, Carol, this is your card. It says practice self-love. And it says nurture your inner child. So, I'm just reading some energy just so you know, Carol, because something's coming in. So this is where these things can sometimes maybe get a little personal whenever you're doing a live like this, but I also don't want to hold this information back. I sense this presence of a motherly figure that basically your mother, could be grandmother, feels like mother, um, and the ability for you to maybe not have felt nurtured like for your in your entire life. And even back to being a baby, when you came into this world and this earth, there was a sense of coming in to a place of being alone and being feels like a sense of a little bit of feeling rejected and a little bit of betrayal, but most importantly, the love. So it's almost like there was like, let's just put it this way. This is kind of to sum that up. It feels like the emotional connection with you and the motherly figure was missing. It was lacking. And so it was like there's this sense of your entire life being connected to this little girl inside of you that is really just seeking to also still be scooped up in the arms and to be sad. It's okay. Like you're safe. And what I want you to know about that is that little girl is waiting to connect with you and that you are the divine parent of your inner child. And so the best thing you could do is really connect to a sense of self-love now. Now, this is interesting because I've been doing a series on self-love and I don't even know if I put it in the links to recommend to you guys because it wasn't something that like pertained to doing the one cards from the moment. But I have a self-love makeover that I've started a video series on. In fact, another video should post tomorrow for it. I believe it's going to be tomorrow. And if not, go to my YouTube channel for last week where I did the kickoff of the self-love makeover. It should have been about the last video I did. And in there, you can sign up for it and you can get a free guidebook that is letting you know and helping you understand that self-love is not selfish. And that we've been taught and trained that for so many reasons that self-love is something that is only for the rich and famous or a luxury. And we're breaking that down because self-love is literally, it can come in a lot of forms. Say, for instance, it's about learning how to accept who we are. It's about learning how to have grace and gratitude for our journey. It's coming into a place of surrendering to what's going on around us. But most importantly, it's about learning how at this stage of the game in the physical, how to honor self-care for what our needs are. And if you don't know what you need, you can't expect anybody else to meet the needs. So the only way you can truly get to know what your needs are is to be able to spend some time with you and to look at like really like what are my values? What is it that I desire from my heart? And then start to show up and pay attention to that inner voice because our inner voice is the inner child and wants to be heard. And so in that, I would recommend you go get a massage, you go get a pedicure, definitely get plugged into my video series on the self-love for anybody that's coming in here or after. And if I don't have the link in there, I'll add the link after this to this for the people with the replay. Especially on YouTube. I don't know if I can do it on the Facebooks or not. But Carol, your inner child is wanting your attention. And it's time to scoop that little girl up in your arms and say, it's okay. I got you. And I'm here to love you and you can trust me and I'm not going anywhere. And listen to the inner voices, the point. What is the pain point? What is coming through you that literally needs to be heard, felt, or seen and acknowledged? And I think that's another piece of this for you, Carol. I think you haven't been fully acknowledged for like growing up for who you truly are and your soul's saying, pay attention, acknowledge me, because I'm a great, great, great soul and I have some really good things to share with people. So, all right, David. Welcome, everyone, if you're just coming in. So, David, I'm just doing something in general, just seeing what's coming through for you. And welcome back. I think you were at one of my other lives, David. Okay. So, David, what's coming through for you is a soul merger card, and it says ebb and flow. Very beautiful. Now, I feel this sense connected to the twin flame journey for you in a sense of desire and wanting the soul merger with your beloved. And also looking outside of you, kind of questioning, like, why is this not happening? And what I feel is because this merger has to take place between you and God first. And as I always say, you got to create that ultimate relationship with yourself before you can have it with another person. And I will say, you're doing it. And I think that's the key in this. It's almost like you're looking for like what's missing or what's wrong or what's left to do. And I think the key in this for you is to know that you're already doing it and to stop looking at it as if it's not here yet, and to know that you're creating a life that you love and you're not waiting on anyone. And that when you do that, you're going to really begin to operate from a place of love in your daily life. And when you do that, you're not separate from it any longer, and you're creating it in your daily life. And then that's going to magnetize and attract to you more love in all of your relationships, and especially your person and your partner. Now, what I will say in that, you're going to need to lose the face and you're going to need to lose the label, because it may come in a different form than what you see it now. And whatever's going on now could be the preparation for something bigger and better. And so you really need to let go and trust this process. Okay. That's that's very strong coming in for you. Okay. So let's see. Hopefully that was good for you there. So Terry, welcome. Hopefully everybody's, I know these are taking a few extra minutes here for, like, there's a lot of really good information. So if you're just coming in, I'm using the Twin Flame Ascension Oracle card deck. It's the deck that I created with Tatiana Hassan, the artist. And it comes out in March. And there are links below to reserve your deck if it's something that's of interest to you. Okay. So Terry. Wow. Okay. You've been doing a lot of work. We all have been. But where you're at right now is you're integrating and you're in this processing mode. And you're going through layers and layers and layers and layers of processing and integration. So, and that's in multi dimensions. So, I'm just feeling your energy, just so you know. Okay. So one is, this is multidimensional. You are a very multidimensional person. And that means your speed at which you have the ability to process things is very quickly, but you see things from so many different perspectives. It's not linear for anyone. And we can all see things from different times or dimensions or places or like depths of things, different angles to it. But you have a sense of being able to filter through a lot quickly. And what I will tell you is sometimes what's happened and what's happening for you right now, I feel you've been able to do that, really, really learn how to do that in a way that you was able to navigate it and get to the heart and the root of a problem. And now you've hit a split in the dichotomy between the polarity of whatever it is that you're processing. And that's giving you like a split, It's like splitting a hair as to both sides of the coin look so you have to have one to have the other. And it's like, okay, I can't, it's like I got down to these two parts and I can't decide because you can't have one without the other. And so what you're doing is you're creating this balance and the neutrality of a bridge between your past and your future. And you're doing this also for the collective. And if you're not already doing so, like you really have the ability of a lot of people through um, sharing with them and seeing, like, basically an intuitive healer, a quantum healer, helping people energetically, helping people psychically to be able to help them process through their stuff. You can, and if you're not already doing that, you're being called to do it. And so, right now, because it's coming to this sense of a split in a hair, and you can't decide whether which direction to go between the two or which two sides of the coin to choose, I want you to know you don't have to choose. It's now about integrating both sides. It's about saying that I don't have to separate myself from right or left. I'm going to walk straight down the middle. And walking straight down the middle means I get my cake and I get to eat it too. And I don't have to choose. I can have both. Okay. And I can do both and I can see both, and both exist and both are real. And we're doing this a lot. A lot of people are in the reality right now because what that's doing, it's helping us build a bridge between the dichotomy and the sense of polarities and division in our world today. So, what we do individually, we are healing for the collective, and you're healing a sense of harmonic neutrality between two dual sides. Okay? How's that? Okay, so let me see what else. Anybody else wanting a card? Diane, so what I would tell you about wish you knew what you should be doing for your calling, I would say to you, like, journal and do some automated writing in the mornings and listen in and tune in because it will come to you. Okay. First, say yes to whatever it is, and it's going to come to you. All right. So, S. Barler, you would like a card. Absolutely. Julio, so good to see you too. Thanks for coming. All right. So, S. Barker. Is it Barker? Let me see. I'm sorry. I don't have my glasses on. Let me make sure that's correct. Oh, Barler. I'm sorry. S. Barler. Thank you guys for joining me. Oh, this is a good one. Okay. Well, this is definitely for you being you asked for this card. But I want you to know this is like a collective thing right now. So anybody I've probably talked to, this is probably an expanded version of something I've said. So it says trust. And it's about connecting to your heart. Ask, listen, and allow. Now, what this means is, I talked a little bit ago about the card with, you're shifting from your head to your heart, going through transformation in order to let go of the ego and the mind. But you're learning how to, like, listen into your heart. So when it comes to connecting, and this could be for you too, Diane, about what I just said. And for you, Barler, you're at this place that sort of at a crossroads and you don't know the direction. But on the flip side of that, you have to remember to ask your guidance, ask your higher self, and ask your intuition to show you what it is that you either need to do, what you need to see, what you need to heal, what it is you need to release that's blocking you from becoming more of yourself or your higher self, or what you need to let go of. And when you don't know these things, basically ask your guidance, your higher self, to show you what it is you need to see, feel, heal, what you need to release that's no longer serving you. Then you need to listen for messages, signs, synchronicities, things to come along to show you and direct you and allow you to feel these things. And then allow the messages to show up when they show up. Pay attention. Now, to get in this place of trust, you have to, this is like a really deep sense of trust, because this is where I talk about it this way. When you go up in the ascension process, it's like climbing a tree. And, because as we ascend, we can see things from a higher perspective. So the higher up the tree we go, the further we can see, and the more we can see what's going on in a bigger scale from above and around us, right? So what happens then is you've basically enjoyed that for a little while, and you've actually been walking out on a limb, stretching yourself a little further, going a little bit more, feeling a little bit more, believing a little bit more, and trusting a little bit more. But what happens is you get out on a limb, and all of a sudden you realize you've stepped further away than the tree than you can touch. And all of a sudden you feel like, oh my gosh. And you look down and you see how far down it is. And you feel like, oh my goodness, there's no net down there. And if I fall, I'm going to get hurt because I am way up this tree. And so when that happens, it also feels like there's this sense of guidance that you've had, this intuition you've had, and this direction you've had. And all of a sudden, all of what you've known sort of backs up. And you're standing out on this limb on a tree, and you're being asked to jump and take the leap of faith and to believe and trust that your wings are going to work, and that you're going to be safe, and you're going to be okay, and it's all going to be, great. So this is the way you're at right now, Barler. You're being asked to take the leap of faith, trust the process, shift into your heart, and know that your wings are going to work, and it's time to leap. Okay? Beautiful. Okay. TL. Oh, cool. TL. Thank you for ordering already. Carol, they're probably all for a lot of people. They all blend for sure. There's a lot of parts of this that overlays for sure. So Melissa, when you said, I gave you the card reading a minute ago, and you said it hasn't come together for the prosperity and abundance. So what it is you're needing to make sure in that space that you really, truly, truly trust and believe this. Okay? It's kind of like this last message was also for you and a lot of people, the same thing. All right, so TL, let me clear this deck. Ooh, I have to tell you, 2 things came out for you, TL. So I'm going to, okay. Okay, this makes sense as far as why 2 came out. It's like the solution and the problem together here. All right. So I'm going to start with where you need to be. Okay, so this is like the solution of where you need to be. So basically, this is a card and a lesson that we need to learn in our soul's evolution, that to know that we are good enough and that we're worthy enough in order to not only experience love and be loved, but to have great things and to have abundance, like you said, Melissa, and prosperity and all those great things. We have to shift into a place of letting go of everything that's blocking us, okay? The weight and the expectations, and not just your own expectations, but the expectations and the conditions that's came down through the lineage and the things that we're clearing through the bloodlines, and then the projections of others. But the key in this is you're not just good enough, you're more than enough. Okay, but you have to know you're more than enough to be able to stand in your power and to show up in a place of I am worthy, I am deserving, I deserve this. Okay, so this is where you're needing to step into a belief system that I am more than enough. Okay, let go of the expectations that you're even putting on yourself from a sense of what it feels like. Well, it's definitely not good enough, but there's a sense of overachievement and a sense of perfectionism and a sense of having spent your whole life trying to keep up with things in a manner that there's a sense of control and a sense of perfectionism that says, I have to be in control. I have to do good at this. And if I do good at this, I'm going to do well. But I want you to know you don't have to work so hard for things to show up. In fact, you're needing to learn how to allow things to come with ease and grace so that you can realize that you are worthy for things to come up and come to you without having to work so hard. And I get this because I started working at 11 years old. And even now I have to work on that from a standpoint of that I don't have to make anything happen. I can just really just step forward in a place that if I'm going to create something that I need to enjoy it and that really learn how to less is more, and the less I do the more I can either make or the more that will come together for me, or the more that people will come to show up and help me get accomplished what I need to do. I can promise you I can create this deck, which I did, but I could not have done the artwork on this. And that's where Tatiana showed up in my life. And we have a whole story about that, on how she showed up in order to make these cards become a reality. It also takes persistence, I feel like, is coming through here. Because when I mentioned this card deck, this is a 6.5-year project. And my own journey has followed this deck all the way through. And so you have to be committed. You have to know that, like, you believe inside of you. Because I grew up as like a little child sitting off at 12 years old to a patent department, trying to figure out how, knowing I was going to create something, the first ever, and how could I make a patent on it. And, you've got to listen to those things in your soul that are real. You got to, again, going back to the, for you, Carol, and the little child inside, you got to trust that inner child that they're also directing you towards where you're to be. So for you, TL, how do you get to being good enough? How do you get to being I'm more than enough? You need to go through another layer of a karmic purge, and that is the mirrored reflection. Okay? So what that means is there are people, there are experiences that you're going through that you're basically creating to help you shift from being not good enough to being I'm more than enough. And right now you're seeing it as those people that's, kind of like coming to you as in what they're doing, but it's not them, it's you. And even though you've done work and you realize I've done all this work and like, okay, I should be able to get this by now, there's more. It's deeper. And this is going back to the dichotomy thing that I mentioned earlier. You've done so much work to the other person I was talking about too, that you literally are having like splitting a hair in your decisiveness as to what direction to go in. And no, it's going to be the same thing. A piece of this is collecting all your aspects, but it's collecting the good and the bad, and it's not separating from any of them. And so these reflections are really just bringing you into the integration of both sides of you. All right. So it's not, another thing I want to tell you that's coming through with this. And this is also very huge. And I feel like this is for more than one person and some other people in here. You're learned how to leave opposing energy. And you have been running kind of from the energy that is opposite of what you're used to, and it makes you uncomfortable, makes you have to stand up, show up, speak up more. And it's more comfortable if you just avoid that energy. But you're being put in a position to have to face that energy so that you can learn how to collect the sides of yourself, the suppressed sides of yourself you've not collected yet. So you can pull back all your energy and your aspects of yourself. So awesome, awesome, awesome. So lovely. Is it librarian? Okay, thank you. Chris, you would like a general card. Awesome. Yes, Chris. David, hopefully that resonated with you. I'm doing a 1-card reading, lovely librarian. I'm trying to call you like a librarian or Libran. Maybe, I guess it is Libran. Although I don't have my glasses on either, so. And you're going to be next, lovely Libran. It is Libran. So Chris, you are up. Cristiano. Or pretty sure that's what it says. Thank you guys for being here with me. Ooh, okay. Ooh, this came out earlier, so it's coming out again. Okay, so Chris, one of the things that's going on with you right now is your third eye is really waking up to the next level and layer. And so this card I pulled a while ago for Diane, but it says beyond the illusion and change your perception. So for you, what this represents your shift from making decisions and choices from your mind, but doing it from your heart. Your heart is trying to become the the root chakra of your energetic soul system. And so it's about letting go of some of the lower layers of your self, the dense side, the negative sides, and stepping forward into a place of higher form of love. And that higher form of love represents the aspect and the idea of divine distribution, meaning you feel like right now what it feels like something's going on that you don't feel is quite fair, and you've learned how to speak up, it feels like, and you've learned how to set some boundaries, and you know what you deserve, but you're in a position of the opposite side of that now, and you're not learning that side of it anymore. You've already got that side. So change your perception and see the other side. And to know that, and it feels like it has to do with money and finances, or like splitting like something in balance with a partner or of some sort in that manner. So it's about you being able to know that you are a reflection of the divine, and you coming into this place of surrendering and allowing and knowing that you can show up in the Christ consciousness and show up in that God energy is going to be the reflection to others that it's truly unconditional love. So you're learning this higher frequency of love, this higher consciousness, this higher high heart energy. So when I told you you were getting this third eye awakening, that's happening because you're shifting up higher into the higher chakras. Your heart's becoming the root chakra. Your high heart's opening up, and you're beginning to feel things, see things that are higher perspective, and you're needing to let go of the lower ways you saw it. Now you're seeing it from a perspective. This is divine distribution. And in that space, it's not about me. It's not about like boundaries, and it's not about right or wrong. It's about the fact that you can be God in form, and that you can show up from a place of being able to be accepting, loving, and forgiving of some things, so that way, because forgiveness feels like it's huge in this, that you need to be more accepting and more forgiving, and accepting, forgiving that person is accepting, forgiving yourself for some things that's expanding you into the next realm. Okay, that's what it is. You're going to the next realm, and you're having to let go of some of the ways that you've learned before. And it's very intense when you do that, because you already got some tools and resources and know and have done it, but you're doing it to another level and you're resisting it. So lovely. Let's see. Rhonda. All right. So lovely. That was yours. Or let me just double check. I apologize. I got that kind of mixed up there. Hey, Rhonda, how are you? I'll give you a card. Lovely. I just needed to see if I answered your sorry. Oh, Barbara. Okay. Thanks, Barbara. I'm just now coming down to see these. Chris, you're so welcome. Hey, Jen, how are you? Okay, you can have a card too. You're welcome, Barler. All right, so I'm going to go to Rhonda. And Barbara, if you could let me know if I did answer your question. As I move into Rhonda's next. Hey, Donnie, how are you? Thank you guys for showing up. All right, so good to see you, Rhonda. I'm so glad you're here. Are you still with me? I know it's been a while. These cards, they're coming through some really deep, intensive type readings through the cards. But that's one thing I said a while ago. I read very multidimensionally. So when I tune into like a vibration and a frequency, like I like tap really deeply into like things. So Rhonda, this doesn't surprise me. Okay. So the card represents surrender. And it says dark night of the soul. And it also says 1-1. And it's also an aqua color. So what I feel is you've been in that dark night of the soul. You've been deeply diving into the self, really deep. And I've known you for a long time. Rhonda's a friend of mine, by the way. I've known you for a long time, and I know how deep you are. You've been deeper. And so what's happening is you're going through this major surrender to come into the alignment of your greatest self, your greatest potential, your higher self. And, you've always been connected, but this is the next level. This is the quantum leap. This is taking this deep dive. And the vision I'm having with that is like going underwater scuba diving and you got a flashlight. And you can't see because it's so dark under there. And it's almost like I feel like the battery has been kind of burned out of the flashlight. And it's like you're trying to figure out how to get it on. And I want you to know that the darker it is, the closer to God you are. And you're being asked in this place to surrender to the flow and the grace and the ability to just be. And I said this earlier about myself, but less you do, the more is going to happen for you. Because you like spend a lot of time learning and doing all these things and putting all this stuff together. And now it's like all the dots are going like coming together and like clicking. And it's suddenly like kabam, kabam, kabam. And I'm seeing fireworks and that, like just like a party and a parade for you. And I want you to know, like myself included in this, but your guides are just like having a party upstairs because they're just like, OMG, like she's arrived. And so what I feel in that is that you are the light now. You don't need the flashlight anymore in that darkness and then that deep dive. Don't worry about the battery going out because you're the light and your light is going to shine on that darkness. And there is no turning that off now because you have come into this place of knowing and such strong connection to yourself that no one can dim your light. And I want to tell you, because I'm hearing that kind of the couple parables in that, don't put your light under a bushel, let it be seen kind of thing. But also like that whole walk in that path of the Christ Ascension, part of that is, you're connecting to your truth, you're becoming the light, and you're showing the way. And so what I do feel like in that is you taking the next step with that light now, and going into the darkness and literally, being like Jesus, going into the community with all the people that lived in their mundane lives and be the reflection for those people and let your light shine because it's time. And I'm so excited about that for you. That's so awesome. Stepping into all of your truth and all of your shine and literally becoming the one with yourself, which is those one numbers. And aqua represents balance. So it says you're balancing your resistance and your surrender. And you're literally coming into being able to surf the waves of highs and lows and knowing that nothing's taking me under. I got this. Okay, so let's see. Terry, you do exactly what I said. However, let's see. You need to share what you know. Thanks for the advice. You're welcome so much. And Barlow, you are at a crossroads. Okay, so Libra, pull a card, also known as Barb. Watch for a long time. Oh, thank you so much, Barbara. That's my mom's name's Barbara. And you're also from Missouri. Very cool. So Barbara, let me just double check and see if I want to make sure that I didn't miss you. It was deep, Rhonda. I know. Very, very, very deep, but that's so true. Dr. Harmony. Yes, that is my name. And it's my legal name now. I'm officially Harmony. All right. So I will come back to you, Anna, if you're still with me. You're going through this twin flame journey right now, Julio. I believe you're twin flame. I'll come back to you in just a minute and I will get your card. I think you'll be next, but I got to go back to Jen. So Jen, I hope you're still with me. And so if anyone's just joining, thank you. I'm doing the one card readings from the Twin Flame Ascension Oracle deck that comes out next month. And Jen, it's flying out. All right. So, Jen, I can't wait to see what this says. Ooh. Okay. This is fun. And there's a card that kind of stuck out here. I feel like it's a piggyback to it. So, this one flew out and this one was kind of coming out. So, okay. This makes sense, but let me see where to start. So, first of all, Jen, and I know you as well. So, thank you for showing up here. Thank you for your love, your light, your support. You are electrifying, girl. You are on fire and you're very creative and have a lot of creative expression. But that energy needs to be put into motion to create what you came here to do. This is like your soul, like if I were to take a picture of your soul. And I know how much energy you have and how electrifying you are and how much creativity you have and what wants to be birthed from you. So it is time. 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 Like there is no better time than now. And you're being called up to create. Okay. So if you've been listening to me and talking about the trusting process of this and going out on a limb and being asked to jump and your wings work, like these things are going to keep happening for you until you step into all of your creativity, until you put that energy into motion, until you literally are birthing outside of you what's inside of you. And so I'm feeling like telling you need to take some time to listen. And I think that's what's been happening is you have so many ideas, so much creation, so much everywhere and so much all over the place. You're operating some from the mind and you're running around chasing things and your soul is trying to say, but wait, like there's a bigger, better plan. And so you need to listen more is what I keep hearing. Listen, stop, pause. And where you hate to be still, that pause is going to create power inside of you that's going to allow you to use the power of that to be this burst that's going to create with. So what that's doing is it's helping you wake up spiritually more. Okay. You're already spiritually awakened, but you're waking up to the higher version of you, the higher level of you. And this is what's important about this card for you. Shift or be shifted. Now, I believe you've probably heard me say those words to you before, and no wonder that stuck out there because it's confirming one of the things that I have said to you specifically. You either get to choose to change or something's going to come along and force change in your life to get you to get into alignment with your soul's calling so you can do what it is you came here to do, be and have. And it's going to go back to listen so you can literally take that energy and put it into motion, but not just put it into motion because you can put energy into motion. You need to put the energy into the direction that it needs to be used to fuel your flame in the direction of your purpose and your calling, because that is what's trying to birth out of you. And until you do, you're going to continue to be shifted, and because you're fighting the process. Okay. So start to listen and ask your soul, what am I supposed to do? What should I do from the highest calling? And be like, don't move so quickly. There's an African proverb that if you want to go quick, go alone. But if you really want to create from a place that is meaningful and long lasting, and you together with someone, then you need to take pauses along the way, and you need to fuel yourself, and you need to enjoy the journey and enjoy the process, because otherwise you're going and moving too fast and it's still sparking everywhere and you can't anchor the energy. Okay. So there you go. All right. So let me just check on Barbara for a moment to see if I got that answered. Hi, Meredith. All right. So Karen, I'll come back to you. Okay, so Julio, you are next, dear. I hope you're still with me. And you believe you know your twin flame, and you went in your separation due to the fact that you both need to work on yourselves. Well, good that you can see that. You're going through the twin flame journey right now. Okay, perfect. Now, I want to just say to you, that twin flame journey represents the deepest part of yourself, and that your twin flame is your mirror for you to find you. And so keep working on yourself. Okay. Keep doing what you need to do for you. And it sounds like you're giving each other the space to do that, which is huge and important. So keep doing that and keep showing up from a place of some of these things I've said. You could definitely, when it comes to trusting and then asking your guidance and direction and saying yes to your soul's journey, put some time and effort into that space, because the direction might not feel so clear to you right now, but it will if you'll take the time to ask, listen, and allow, that I talked about in the card prior. Okay, I did this card at the beginning. It was the first one I did. So it is the mystical messages and following the signs. So what this represents for you, and what I just said, that each one of these kind of spokes on this wheel kind of thing represents an aspect of who you are. And so the things are happening around your life right now in order for you to mirror to you who it is you are. And so you're literally being activated in such a way that you're beginning to see, feel, and connect to the sides of yourself you've separated from. And so pay attention to what is showing up. Pay attention to these messages. Pay attention to the signs, because it's going to be an opportunity for you to move through this faster than by doing it kind of blindly. So the point in that is, I feel like a lot of what you've been asking is showing up. You just don't know how to interpret it, or you don't realize it's already there. Okay. So that's one thing I want to say. What you're asking for, if you've been asking, or what you're searching for, is in front of you. You just can't see it. And the reason you can't see it is because you're looking outside of yourself. And the minute you look at every teacher and twin flame, the journey, the experience, and say, where's the lesson in it? What part is my responsibility? And where can I take accountability and ownership of this? And then be willing to look at yourself and see, where does that exist in me? And what does I need to work on within myself? That's going to allow you to take back your power that you've lost along this journey and help you become more whole and complete within yourself. All right. Very cool. Let's see who is next. Okay, so Lovely, you're next. Still waiting. I apologize. I thought I'd missed you in there and I wasn't sure. So I apologize. So I'm going to do you now, Barbara. But as we know, this is a good example of divine timing and no accidents. So for whatever timing or whatever reason, like it was supposed to be now. So thank you for your patience. So, and this card like literally just birthed right out of here. And it doesn't surprise me because it's the rebirth card of personal freedom unleashed. So now, you've been through multiple rebirths in this process, in this journey. And your heart has been wide open. And it feels like you've went through a lot of pain. And that pain is to be used for a purpose. And it's about you coming on the other side of that into more purpose, more meaning, more passion, more connection. So while you've went through what this ascension process, and you've went through, say, knowing and understanding that we rebirth because we let go of who we've been, we learn to love who we are, and we embrace who we're becoming. In this instance, with this card in you, what's coming through is that you're going to another level and you're going through another rebirth. But even though, while it's super intense and super deep, and basically it's like, feels like the mastery of all mastery, it's like the boards where you've been taking, say, test along to go to school, and now you're going to get your bar or something, and you're taking the bar or the boards. So now it's like a test of all tests. And you are the chrysalis, and you are exiting that cocoon. And here's what I see for you in that. I had this vision just a couple of days ago with a client, and it's coming back through. And what I'm seeing is, and knowing that if you help a butterfly come out of the cocoon, let's say you see it and it's coming out, you said, oh, I'm going to help this butterfly. And if you give that butterfly assistance, the butterfly will never be able to fly. I mean, this is literally science. But it takes the birthing process to take and peel off all of the fluid that is on those wings before the wings can not stick together anymore and they can actually come open. Okay, so this is where you're at. It's a very painful process. And it's almost like I feel like that it's like it's coming from also like a sense of maybe like tired, sick and tired of being sick and tired, and how much more is there, and can I do this? And I want you to know you're right there. You're right there. And it's just about to like give birth to the best of the best of the best of who you are. And it's literally happening like already. And just know that it's already done, and just let go and trust. And you're going to be shifting further, faster, just by surrendering this process. Okay, great. You're welcome, Julio. Really resonates with you. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, let me see if I have any more. I'll maybe do whatever else is on here. And so, Anna, if you're still with me, you are next, it looks like. Do you see an improvement after COVID for your family member? He has kidney issues. Okay. Let me tune into that. Feeling it already. So one of the things I have to say, the kidneys are representing the ability to assimilate and to also like filter things in life and to be able to fully express or like become an expression of self. And so what I feel in this that I do feel the improvement for the family member. Just know here. Okay, so let me show you the card. It says oneness with self and it says blossoming. Okay. But with my chiropractic background and my energy healing and my quantum physics and all these parts I put together with all of this, so to speak, and understanding that the kidneys here are representing an opportunity to fully embrace life going with the flow. Okay, literally. Okay. So what I want you to know, the sense of this COVID and the family member is this is putting the family member in a position in order to surrender and let go of certain ways, certain things that have been blocking them from navigating life with ease and grace. And basically, things seem like they were probably hard, a lot of control, and being put in a position as an experience to be forced to face the self. And by facing the self, that's helping the reflection of looking at themselves. And in that, it's helping them become better, helping them expand, helping them bloom and blossom into a better version of themselves. So, one of the things to look at the COVID is not that it was a bad thing, it was a horrible circumstance to have to be put into to find more in yourself. But I get this because I've had it and I understand this. And I went through a lot with this myself. But that having that was literally kind of like a blessing to find more of the self. And so I feel like from what this is showing me, it's in what I feel in the energetically in that, it's exactly what that family member needed in order to embrace more of themselves and to do it with ease and grace. Because here's the thing about this lotus, okay? And it's blossoming. So it's more painful to stay constricted and not be who you are than it is to let go and surrender and allow this to unfold. So another thing about that is lotuses, there's a lot of work being done in the root system and and there's mud and you don't see the progress until one day overnight the flower blooms and pops and just opens up. So this is where the family member's at. They've done a lot of work on themselves. They've done all this root work, basically. And this being in this situation has put them in the mud, and you can't see what's happening that's happening below the surface. But it's happening in order to create that pop of beauty of that person becoming a better person and being able to navigate life with ease. Because once the work's done, and the flower comes up, it's now about the blossoming is effortless. It just easily opens, okay, with grace. And it takes more constriction and more energy to stay constricted than to come full bloom. So that's what they're doing, definitely. So awesome. So let me see if there was any more, and then I will be back again at some point. Karen. Okay, we have Karen. I just want to see who's left. Karen, if you're still with me, I'm going to get yours. And looks like Meredith. And yes, I got you two big Tate Long. Okay, I got one for you too. Just got here. Okay. Well, I got 2 more before you, and I'll get yours, and then these are the last 3 I'll do for tonight, but I will be back. So let's see. Karen, thank you for your patience, everyone. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me. And I'm using the Twin Flame Ascension Oracle deck. That is the card deck I created. It comes out in March. There'll be some links here below if it calls you to connect with this deck. So, Meredith, so you are going through, I'll give you the card and I'm going to tell you, interpret it. So it says breakthrough, and it says that you're processing karmic debris. But what I feel like in this is, it's not like you haven't already had breakthroughs, what's coming through. It's like the breakthrough's already been happening, and you're going through all the debris now, and you're filtering through all this stuff, and you're kind of looking at what am I learning from each part of this? All right. And so basically in this breakthrough now, it's like the tower moment. It feels like it's kind of like broke apart everything you've known. And now it's like building back with the pieces, and it's sorting through all these pieces to see like what's going with me, what's staying, what do I need to take, what can I take with me, and then what's it look like to recreate. So what it will tell you in that is it's going to be super important for you to have a goal and a vision of what it is you desire. And that's going to make this process faster and easier, because the breakthrough is happening. I will say too, it's almost like you feel like you're waiting on the breakthrough and you want more to kind of like come into place to know that you can see or feel or trust this process. But I want you to know that that's already happened. And now it's this time inside of you to know and believe that it's you that's the creator now. You get to choose what you want. You get to choose how to decide to put this together. And if you keep waiting on someone to assist with the parts of that, then you're stepping away from your ability for this part of the lesson that you need in order to create for what you want. Because everything that was created before was created maybe from some of the things you wanted, but it was more of the mind and the lower self. And everything's been kind of like pulled away from you, and you're on this verge of like this bigger side of you. And it's just, what do you want? I just keep hearing that. Like, what do you want? What do you want? What do you desire? So get super clear on that. Use the debris and keep what's going to serve you and let go of the rest. And the big, that saying of the best is yet to come, that's like right around the corner for you. Okay. And like knowing this is something like a piece that's going to make it happen like super fast. Okay, cool. Thank you, Barbara. Nailed it. Okay. Thank you so much. Also, thank you. Thanks for sharing that it was that was accurate. And thank you for your patience too, by the way. Hello, Maura. Okay, so I'm going to just make sure I can see your name here. Is it Tate? Yes, Tate. Okay, Tate. You're the last one for tonight, but I will be back. Again, thanks everyone for being here. And thank everyone that's gave me their questions. Thank you for your patience. Ooh, Tate. Ooh. Ooh, this is really good. This is really good. Okay. Like, this card is so good. Like, I can't even show it to you yet because I got to like soak it in for a minute. Whew. Okay, Tate. This is really big. Like, you're at a crossroads. Like, you're at this huge crossroads, and this is a big decision, like a big sense of like the next step for you that's going to really create a big breakthrough, kind of like I just meant. So like you're kind of coming on this edge of edge and verge of a breakthrough yourself. But before you get to that cliff to make that jump or jump off that tree I talked about earlier, you're hitting this sense of the crossroads and the path of least resistance. So you're to choose ease and grace. And it's saying, here, the path of least resistance. Okay. And I want you to see like how much of a dichotomy that is, from a shadow to the light, from the dark to the beautiful, from, the weight to the ease and the grace and the lightness and the unfolding of like the next stage of who you are. Meredith, you're welcome, dear. Thanks for your feedback on that. So first of all, I have to tell you, Nate, like I could feel your heart, or Tate. I'm sorry, Tate, not Nate. I can feel the depths of your heart. Like you have this huge heart. Are you Libra by any chance? Like, because I can feel this sense of like this, heart on a sleeve kind of thing. Could be even Leo, but like I can feel this sense of you're really heart centered. And what feels like to me, you kind of like give your Cancer. Okay, well then that even explains it. I was getting ready to say like, very emotional, very connected to emotions, right? So Cancer's even like more emotional than some of the ones that I mentioned. So okay, so you're on the cusp of a Leo, which we're close probably because I'm a Leo, but I'm on the 27th of July. So when I tell people I go to my den, or tell people I go to my den instead of go to my shell. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you got to go into your little shell and kind of go inward. Like I go to my den. Is that Cancer coming out in me? And I also have a Cancer rising. So I get some of that. So now I can feel your emotions. And what it feels like is you're so giving, you're so loving, you're so caring. And it's like kind of like you're tired of just like being like the doormat kind of thing. You're tired of like it's like is it my turn? When am I going to get kind of what I give? Okay. So I want you to know that you need to learn to give to yourself what it is that you're giving other people. And you don't have to withhold so much from the other people, but you need to show up for yourself in the same way you show up for other people. So, in this kind of crossroads of like where you're at and what's next and where you're going in your direction, you need to really be focusing on what's going to be what you love, what it is that you like, and put yourself first. You was just asking it before you saw the video. Yep. This is confirmation. You need to give to yourself first. You need to give to yourself what you're giving all these other people. And then like what's going to happen is when it comes time to give, you're going to have more to give. But you need to put yourself first. And if you have not already got my get plugged in to my self-love makeover, it's somewhere in the description of one of my videos, especially go to the last video and watch that, Tate. I talk about the self-love makeover. I want you to go to that video. I want you to watch it, and I want you to get the free resources and sign up for the 10-day makeover that's free, because it's going to give you tools, tips, and techniques that's going to give you a sense of like really taking some commitment. So it's going to be about a commitment. And so the reason it's still feeling dark to you is because you're not giving to yourself first. And you need to basically kind of create the rainbow. You need to create like, so if you think about it, okay, so you have to have rain and a storm before, and a cloud before the rainbow comes out, right? And that's what I feel like in this card for you too. So you've been living in that kind of cloud sense, in the dark side sense, but it's only your perception, and it's time to make the shift and to know that technically you are the rainbow. Like you don't have to wait for the rainbow to come up. You are the rainbow. But you need to treat yourself like you're the rainbow. You need to treat yourself like you're the first class citizen. You need to treat yourself like you would everyone else. And so in every decision you start to make where you feel like there's all give and no get, you need to take a step back, and you need to like give to yourself and pause for a second, fill up your own love bank. And that's going to help you have more love to show up and share with other people. It's exactly what you need, Tate. And this is just your perception, okay? Choose the easier side, choose the fun side, but choose it for yourself, not for other people. Okay, so let me see here. That was going to be my last one, but I have Lindsay and I have Cozy. Cozy just joined. Is this my new deck? It is my new deck, Cozy. It is the Twin Flame Ascension Oracle deck. There is links below for people to get their deck reserved. It comes out in March. You're so welcome, Tate, and I'm so glad. Okay, so I will do 3 more, and that's the last 3 I can do because I've been on for a while. And I will be back. So you guys make sure if you've not already liked and subscribed and, hit the notification bell because I'll be coming live and doing some more of these more often. And that way you get notified when I do. So Lindsay, any advice you feel like something big is about to happen to shift you? And fingers crossed. Okay, let's see, Lindsay. Ooh. No wonder you feel like something really big is about to happen. Okay, Lindsay, I feel guided just to take a deep breath for a second. So you've been tapping into what I talked about earlier about the liquid love and the ability to receive from the cosmic connection of the sense of ease and grace coming from divine love, cosmic love. Okay. And when we tap into that higher conscious love, it is bigger than we could contain in any form of anything. And so what's happened is you've been through a lot of pain, and that pain needs to be put into a purpose. And it feels like you kind of have maybe put it into a purpose. What that's doing is creating a chalice in your heart. All right. And it says the Holy Grail code. And this says that receive the gift now. Okay. And we're talking about what you're about to receive, something big. You're about to receive the gift of all the rewards for all the things you've already been doing. So the pain you've experienced to be here is creating this vessel now within you to be able to open up and allow what's coming into you from the higher place, the higher love, the higher connection, the higher divine innate intelligence, and the liquid love of God that says that you cannot bring that into human form without having went through all the pain you did. You wouldn't understand it. It creates an emotional intelligence in you from like the shadow side to the bright side. And if you didn't experience what you have, you wouldn't know. So you have to know great sorrow to know great pleasure and love. Okay. So what you've been through is expanded your heart. It's expanded who you are. And you're becoming the vessel to fill yourself up with the gift of yourself, of love. And that means you're becoming the love. You are the love, and you show up as love, and you share love. And next thing you know, you align with love and everyone love around you. And then you start to have more compassion and empathy and the feeling of love, no matter what you do. And that's going to attract to you everything you love that's on its way. And this is what you're going through right now, pulling this in. Like you feel like you're on the breakthrough, something's coming in. This is it. You're receiving the gift of liquid love from the Christ consciousness for it's the gift and all the pleasures that you've desired. And it's your gift and reward for all the pain you've went through. Okay. So, Cozy Moon. Awesome. All right. So, Cozy, you didn't really ask for a card, but I am going to give you a quick one. And then Erica, I'll give you a quick one. And that'll be my last one. You're welcome, Lindsay. Hopefully that resonated for you. Woo. Okay. These cards, you guys got these cards just flying out of here. So, Cozy, it says, take me home and It is the pathway to true love. Okay, this is a beautiful card. This represents freedom, it represents sovereignty, and it represents the liberated heart. So, what I want to tell you is what I just said for Lindsay. Lindsay, this is the reward on the flip side of this. So, Cozy, what I just said for Lindsay is like the precursor to this. Okay. So, what that means is you're now got your gift. You've became one and whole and complete, and you are the oracle. And you are, I talked earlier about following the yellow brick road home and that you're looking outside of yourself for the ability to find your way home. Well, home is where the heart is, right? And that it's like Dorothy was saying, in The Wizard of Oz, like she was searching for home and come to find out the courage she needed and all the things she needed to get home was inside of her. And she kept going to the wizard and all the people to find out where to go. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, my dear, but it's been with you all along. You've had your power inside of you all along. You just had to know it. Okay. When you come into this place of home, you come into a place of you are love. You show up as love. You be love. You experience love. There is nothing missing. You're in the quantum connection to the Christed love that you live in your life every day, and you are liberated and you're in your heart and you're able to fly freely and connect to more grace and more flow and more love, and you are loved. Like this just says to me, Cozy, you are love and you are loved therefore. And so like spread your wings and fly. When I was talking about wings earlier and spread your wings and fly, it's like the wings of your heart and connecting to the oneness of the universal Christ consciousness that says I'm part of the divine and the divine lives in me. Whew, I just got chills. That is really beautiful. So, Lindsay, this was an extension for you, and Cozy, Lindsay's was a precursor for yours. And I did them back to back. So how awesome is that? Okay, Erica, you're next. My last one for the night. So thank you, everyone. Make sure to let me know if you're still present. And, okay. I told you these cards are just flying out of here. And in case anybody is just showing up, I know you had just showed up and asked earlier if this was the deck I created, and it is the deck, the Twin Flame Ascension Oracle deck. I'll show you what it looks like on the front side if anybody's just coming in or hasn't seen it yet. That's the card deck. Isn't it beautiful? It's got the Twin Flame Swans. And I just have to tell you guys, you may or may not have heard me say this, but 6 years ago when I created this, and I'll come right to you, Erica. 6 years ago when I created this, I couldn't decide if it was going to be a black swan or a white swan. And so I made two. I had two white swans and a black swan and a white swan. Okay, Eric, I'll be right to you. Then when I had the artist recreate it, Tatiana, 3 years ago, I said, okay, I don't know if this is two white swans or a white swan and a black swan. Okay, cool, Rhonda, cool. And then when I sent this to the artist 3 years ago, I'm like, okay, I just went with my guidance. It's going to be the black swan and the white swan. And as you know, that I reunited with my beloved last year and got married to my beloved, and he's black and I'm white. So how beautiful is that? And this card deck is coming out as we have harmonized and went through this process of becoming one. And, it just couldn't happen any sooner. It's divine timing. It's 6.5 year project, but it goes to show you the perfection in the path that if you just trust it and get out of the way, that it will be there for you. So I'm going to tell you your card now. Thank you, Cosmic Light. So your card, Erica, I did already pull it. You're stepping into your femininity and you're becoming more queen. You're queen and becoming more connected to, you watched my wedding. How awesome. Thank you for sharing that. So you're stepping into your feminine power and you're doing it from a place of not being afraid to stand up, show up, and speak up for yourself. That's what a queen will do. A queen gets waited on. A queen has things show up and, she might have to ask for what she wants, but people show up to support her, help her, and she steps into the divine feminine she is. So you are in this place that is going to the next level, your femininity. Now, what you know, I said this earlier, I'm going to repeat this because this is the hierarchy of the energy. You're coming into collecting your maiden, which is the passion side of yourself, your mother, which is the creative side. You're then connecting that with your crone, which is all your wisdom. Then you're coming into the queenhood of being in a place of power. Okay. As you come into the place of power and a sense of asking for what you want, the next step of that is you will shift into the high priestess. And as you shift into the high priestess, yes, goddess. See, okay, so then what happens is as you go from the queen, though, and you learn this step of it, which is putting you into the power you need to be the high priestess. Then what is happening? The empire of your own life. That's true. But you're finding the balance between your power and your grace. Okay. So in your divine feminine, you're collecting your parts and then you're shifting into the high priestess for power. But then you're going to be shifting into your goddess. And that's going to be the perfect balance, the perfect harmony between grace and ease and power. Okay. Mary Magdalene and Goddess Isis are two people. I actually have a power and grace tattoo on my foot and leg that represents power and grace. And it's got the crown of Isis on the top part, and it's got the womb, which is a lotus of Mary Magdalene on the bottom part, and it goes up my foot and up my ankle leg a little bit. And I got it as my high priestess tattoo. And so it's so beautiful. So I want to leave you guys with, this is not my card from the Twin Flame Ascension Oracle deck, but those of you that are just showing up or that see this later, the links are below. If you're interested in it, it will come out in March. But I want to leave you with a message from Kuan Yin. Okay. This came through for me and something I was opened up a couple days ago and it fell out. I love Mary Magdalene. Yeah. And Isis, both. Yes. So this fell out of something I was doing. So it felt like there was a message and it's called The Blessing of the Moon Maiden. Okay. Tonight is the full moon in Leo. I am Leo. And I felt like this was a message for me. And I wanted to share it with you guys when I finished tonight for anybody that was left or anybody that watches this later, because this to me represents tonight's full moon. And I mentioned earlier, we're moving into the portal of the 2222 portal in a few days. And this is the gateway that's going to take you home with a liberated heart to do what it is you love, to step through that portal in a place of this is the new earth officially. And what do you want to take with you? So start packing your bags and deciding what's staying and what's going. Okay. But in the process of today, as being the opening gateway of that portal energy, it says the moon maiden with her lucky hair brings auspicious tidings of prosperity and abundance to you. Now, the universe seeks to replenish, restore, and create through you. Allow yourself to receive beyond what it is you have thought is possible by opening your heart with gratitude now. Let the blessings of the good fortune from the beloved maiden of the moon, Kuan Yin, flow easily into your life now. I've heard of that manuscript before, Kaylin. It's supposed to be really good. It is a large portal, Erica. It's a large portal. So what I want to tell you is, and this is what I've been really teaching a lot with my personal private clients, and which, by the way, if people are interested, I'm going to be having a group coaching program for stepping forward into the next level of your quantum ability to live an abundant life of in the quantum field. Okay. And the quantum field represents the infinite, not the finite and not the limited. It's about learning how to live a life that you can create from a place in your life, love, and livelihood with leisure and luxury, and allowing yourself to have those things. Hey, Tracy. It's allowing yourself to experience those things. And so I haven't even launched the yet, and it's coming through me as I say this. And it's because I've been talking about this a lot. So somebody needs to hear this at some point. So I'm just going to say it. So I have a group coaching program that I'm putting together that's going to be the ability to teach people how to live in the quantum abundance quantum, and it's academy that I'm doing, where I'll be doing like a once a month type group setting with the group. and there's going to be a lot of things that come through with that. And the reason I haven't really announced that yet is because I have to create some of the stuff to it. However, for whatever reason, I feel somebody pulled for whatever timeline that would be either a good fit or needs to hear this. So I'm just going to say it. And if it's you, leave me a message in the comment below and I'll put you on a list. So when this comes out, I know to contact you and let you know it's ready. But so just know that whoever that I feel guided, that's for, it's a message. But the point is, there's an abundance of blessings out there waiting. It's not any longer about having to live in a place of being limited. It's about knowing that you can have it all. Okay, sure. Let me write that down. You went on the list? Okay, let me, because once I get rid of these, like, let me just say this. When I actually close out of here, I won't be able to, these comments don't go necessarily with this video after, it's the ones after. So let me go ahead and put you guys on a list now. Tracy, it is coming. Yes. You're hanging on pretty good. Awesome. Okay. So let's see, Erica. So let me just ask this, because I don't know how to get in touch with you guys. Will you guys, okay. So can Erica and, I missed somebody here. Let me see. Who else was it? Somebody else went up. Whoever it is that, I'm sorry, a bunch of you typed in and I missed it. Oh, you want to go to Sedona? Oh my God, Erica, you really need to go to Sedona. That is going to be like epic. And I haven't even announced that yet either. So just so everybody knows what she's talking about, we have a retreat in Sedona coming up in October. There is a link below in my descriptions of my videos as well. So make sure to check that out. And Erica, I would love to see you there. It is going to be beyond epic. So yes. So Erica, do me a favor. Like I said, even though I put you on a list right now, I won't be able to add you to the list without your email technically. So would you email me at drharmony for Dr. Harmony at twinflameexpert.com, and I will put you on the list. And that way I know that I've sent you like a personal message for that. Okay. Oh, you were there in February of last year in Sedona. We were there in October of, September of this last year. And thank you, Erica. That'd be awesome. And anybody else, if I missed somebody, I think there was somebody else said they wanted on that list. So email me at drharmony@twinflameexpert.com. And that way I can add you to the list for what I'm about to launch in the way of living in abundant, living in quantum abundance. And it's going to be an academy that I put together that I meet with people once a month and stuff like that. And there'll be lots of cool resources that go along with it. And it'll be a group training that I'll be doing to help people live in a quantum abundance and help you step into this highest version of you from a place of love and grace, and to know that this dream that you've had, that you can bring that into reality, because we're bringing it in and we're embodying it. And now it's integrating into our life. And so I've been really guided to help people pull that quantum energy and connect to it and pull it into within them and embody it. So that's one of the things I've done. Some of my newer services have been linked a lot more to the quantum healing because of the quantum field. That's where all of our blessings exist. And it's about bringing that into our daily life. So you're living it. You're no longer dreaming it. You're living it. And that's the goal. So thank you, everyone. It's been such a blessing to have you on live with me. And make sure, either if you're watching the replay or if you're present, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell, because I will be doing some more of these. And that way you'll know when I come live. And then if you're looking to, resonate with this deck, the Twin Flame Ascension deck, that is the card deck I started creating, I wrote about in Twin Flame Codebreaker. And for those of you who came in, I also have a link below for my book, Twin Flame Codebreaker. Is free until midnight tonight at 12 p.m., 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You will get my ebook free off Amazon. And there's a link in this description below that you can get it. Okay. I love you guys all. Thank you so much for sharing all your time with me and showing up. And I look forward to more of these. It's been really fun. I really love to connect with you guys. Tracy, I see you just got a message here. I want to see what it says. Watch the replay because you just cut the, okay, yes, watch the replay because there's a lot of really good information, Tracy. And I want everyone to know, I didn't say this throughout, but I want everyone to know that just because the cards were for, like, say, one person, as people were in here, they actually was saying, that was my card and that was my message and like all these things. So I want you to know whether you got this as your message here or in the future in readings or even just being here, like this represents everyone needs to hear some of these things. So know that these are messages that are meant for the collective as well. Okay. So thank you. Thank you, Cozy. Thank you, everyone. I love you guys. And I will be back soon. And watch for my self-love series part 2 to drop. I think is going to be tomorrow. 99% sure. I do got a lot going on, but Julian has been editing it for me today. And so I should be able to get it posted for you tomorrow as part 2 of my self-love series. So, okay. Love you guys. All right. See you soon.